Right now, sitting in your home, you're probably eating one of the 7 foods I'm about to tell you about. And here's what worries me. Many of you don't even know it's happening. Your blood pressure is rising, your heart is working harder, and you have no idea why. Hi, I'm Drive, and today I need to tell you something that could change your life. The food sitting in your kitchen right now might be the reason your doctor keeps saying your blood pressure is too high. But here's the good news. Once you know what these 7 foods are, you can take control. You can feel better. You can protect your heart. So stay with me for the next few minutes, because this information, this could literally save your life. Let me tell you why I'm bringing this up today. According to the latest health data, over 100 million Americans have high blood pressure. That's more than 4 out of 10 adults. And you know what the scariest part is? Many people don't even know they have it. We call it the silent killer because it doesn't give you obvious warning signs until something serious happens. Now, if you're 50 or older, your risk goes way up. Your arteries become stiffer, your heart has to work harder. And suddenly, foods that maybe didn't affect you when you were 30 or 40, they start causing real problems. Here's what happens inside your body. Your blood vessels are like highways. Blood flows through them, carrying oxygen and nutrients to every part of your body. When your blood pressure gets too high, it's like driving on those highways at dangerous speeds. The pressure inside these vessels gets stronger and stronger. Over time, this damages the walls of your arteries. The lining gets scarred, plaque builds up, and eventually, well, that's when you risk a heart attack or stroke. But here's what I want you to understand. Your diet plays a bigger role in this than you might think, more than genetics, more than stress, more than exercise even. What you put in your mouth every single day directly affects those blood vessels. And for most people, the biggest culprit is something very specific, sodium. You've probably heard that word before, salt. But do you really understand how much of it is hiding in the foods you eat every day? Most people think, well, I just don't add salt to my food, so I should be fine. But that's where the danger is hidden. The American Heart Association says that most of us should eat no more than 2,300 milligrams of sodium per day. That's about 1 teaspoon of salt. But the average American, they're eating over 3,000. Some people are eating 5,000 or more. And you know where most of it comes from? Not the salt shaker. It comes from the foods you think are safe, the foods you've been eating for years without realizing they're slowly raising your blood pressure. So let me show you these 7 foods. I'm going to tell you why each one is dangerous, and then, I promise you, I'm going to give you solutions that actually work. Food number 1. Processed deli meats. Think about cold cuts, ham, turkey from the deli counter. Also cured meats like bacon and sausage. I know, these are popular foods. Maybe you have them in your refrigerator right now. But here's the problem. 1 slice of deli meat can contain 200 to 300 milligrams of sodium. Just 1 slice. If you make a sandwich with 3 slices, you've already hit the sodium limit for a healthy person for an entire day. And this doesn't include the bread or anything else on the sandwich. I treated a patient named Robert who was 72. He loved his turkey sandwiches for lunch, thought he was being healthy. His blood pressure was 158/98. That's dangerously high. When I asked about his diet, he told me he ate deli meat almost every single day. After we switched him to fresh, sliced turkey breast from real meat we cooked ourselves, his blood pressure dropped. In 3 months, it went down to 135/85. He couldn't believe the difference. Food number 2, canned soups. Here's another one that sneaks up on people. Canned soups are so convenient. Just heat and eat. But a single can of chicken noodle soup can have 1,200 milligrams of sodium. That's more than half your daily limit in 1 bowl of soup. And it gets worse. Many people eat soup as a side with lunch, so you're getting that soup, plus a sandwich, plus maybe some other foods. Your sodium intake skyrockets. Food number 3, bread and baked goods. Now, I know what you're thinking. Bread? How can bread be the problem? But here's the thing most people don't realize. Bread contains salt to keep it fresh and to enhance the flavor. 2 slices of store-bought bread can have 300 to 400 milligrams of sodium. If you eat toast for breakfast, a sandwich for lunch, and have a roll with dinner, you've just eaten 1,000 or more milligrams from bread alone, before you even added anything to the bread. Food number 4, Cheese. I love cheese, I really do, but I'm honest with my patients about it. Cheese is concentrated milk, and the sodium gets concentrated too. 1 ounce of cheddar cheese, which is just a small handful, has 180 milligrams of sodium. That's as much as in 5 slices of bread. If you're eating cheese every day, maybe with crackers, maybe on a sandwich, maybe in your eggs, it adds up fast. Food number 5. Sauces, condiments, and salad dressings. This is where people really get caught off guard. You're eating a salad. You think, I'm being healthy. Then you pour on the salad dressing, and you just added 600 milligrams of sodium. A tablespoon of soy sauce has 800. A teaspoon of hot sauce has 120. My patient Margaret made salads for lunch thinking she was doing the right thing, but she was drowning them in store-bought dressing and eating crackers on the side. Her blood pressure was 142 over 89. Once we switched to homemade olive oil and vinegar dressing, and she started reading labels on everything, her pressure came down significantly. Food number 6. Frozen prepared meals. Frozen dinners are created to last on the shelf, and you know what keeps them safe? Salt. A single frozen meal can contain 2,000 milligrams of sodium or more. That's almost your entire daily allowance in one meal. Food number 7. Snack foods and crackers. Chips, crackers, popcorn, pretzels. These are the foods we snack on almost without thinking. A handful of salted crackers can have 150 milligrams. A bag of chips, 500 or more. A lot of people eat these while watching TV and don't even realize how much sodium they're consuming. One gentleman I worked with, Tom, who was 65, told me he'd eat crackers with cheese every evening. Just a light snack. He didn't think it mattered. But when we calculated his daily sodium intake, these snacks alone were adding almost 1,000 milligrams every single day. Now here's something crucial I need to tell you. High blood pressure often doesn't have obvious symptoms. That's why it's dangerous. But there are some signs that many people don't realize are connected to their blood pressure. If you've been getting more headaches than usual, especially in the back of your head or when you wake up, that could be a sign. If you feel dizzy sometimes, or you get tired more easily than you used to, that might be your heart telling you something. Some people experience a feeling of pressure or tightness in their chest. Others get more shortness of breath when climbing stairs. You might notice your face seems flushed, or you feel warmer than everyone else in the room. And here's one that surprises people. If you're having trouble sleeping, waking up in the night more often, that can be connected to high blood pressure too. Now, I want to be clear about something. These symptoms don't always mean you have high blood pressure. But if you're experiencing any of these, that's your body's way of saying, hey, something is changing. Pay attention. The only real way to know for sure is to get your blood pressure checked. And if you're over 50, you should be checking it regularly, at least once a year, ideally more often. I recommend getting a good blood pressure monitor for your home. They're not expensive anymore, and knowing your numbers is one of the most powerful things you can do for your health. If your systolic pressure, that's the top number, is 130 or higher, or your diastolic pressure, the bottom number, is 80 or higher, then we're talking about high blood pressure. And the foods I just told you about? They're making it worse. Let me explain what's really happening when you eat too much sodium. Your body needs a little bit of salt. It's true. Salt helps your muscles work. It helps your nerves send signals. Your body needs about 500 milligrams a day to function properly. But most of us are eating 6, 7, 8 times that amount. When you eat salt, it enters your bloodstream. Your body says, wait, this is too salty. I need to dilute this. So it holds on to water. Your blood vessels now have more fluid in them. More fluid means more pressure. It's like filling a balloon with more air. The pressure inside goes up. Over time, this extra pressure damages the inside of your arteries. Your body tries to repair the damage, but the repair isn't clean. Scar tissue forms, plaque builds up, the arteries get stiffer, and now your heart has to work even harder to pump blood through those damaged vessels. This is why older adults are so much more at risk. Your vessels are already less flexible. Your heart has already been pumping for 70 or 80 years. And then, if you've been eating high-sodium foods for decades without realizing it, the damage is cumulative. But here's the hopeful part. This doesn't have to be permanent. Unlike some health conditions, you can actually reverse some of the damage from high blood pressure by changing what you eat. I've seen it happen with my patients again and again. When you reduce sodium, your blood pressure comes down, usually within a few weeks. Okay, so now you know what the problem foods are. Let me give you real practical solutions, things that actually work, things that won't make you feel like you're suffering. Solution 1. Read every label. This is number 1 because it's the most important. Every packaged food, every canned food, every sauce and dressing has a label, and that label tells you the sodium content. Start reading them today, right now actually, if you want to. When you're at the grocery store, compare brands. You might find 2 different brands of salad dressing, and one has 600 milligrams of sodium per serving, while the other has 100. Same product, completely different health impact. Pick the lower sodium option. It sounds simple, but this one habit can cut your sodium intake in half. Solution 2. Cook your own food. I know this sounds harder than it is, but when you cook at home, you control the sodium. You don't have to cook fancy, just real food. Chicken breast, vegetables, rice, potatoes. My patient Diana was 71. She said she didn't have time to cook, but we made a deal. She'd cook just twice a week, make a big batch of something simple, chicken and vegetables. Then she'd eat it several times that week. Her blood pressure dropped 12 points in 6 weeks. The bonus? Home-cooked food usually tastes better, and it's cheaper. Solution 3. Replace, don't restrict. Don't think about what you have to give up. Think about what you can replace it with. Instead of deli meat, buy a fresh rotisserie chicken and slice it yourself. Instead of canned soup, make a simple broth with vegetables at home. Instead of store-bought salad dressing, mix olive oil and vinegar. These aren't sacrifices. They're actually better for you. Solution 4. Use flavor instead of salt. Here's a secret. Salt is just a way to make food taste good, but it's not the only way. Use spices, garlic, black pepper, lemon juice, fresh herbs. I worked with a man named Henry who thought food without salt would taste boring. We experimented together. He learned to cook chicken with garlic and rosemary instead of with salt. He told me later it was some of the best chicken he'd ever eaten, and his blood pressure dropped 20 points. Flavor is your friend. Salt doesn't have to be. Solution 5. Start checking your eating habits. Keep track of what you eat for 3 days. Seriously, write it down or use your phone. Then look up the sodium in those foods. You'll probably be shocked. Most of my patients are shocked. They think they eat healthily, but when they see the numbers, they realize they're consuming way too much sodium without meaning to. This awareness is powerful. Once you see it, you can't unsee it, and you'll naturally start making better choices. Solution 6. Ask for help. Talk to your doctor. Ask about a nutritionist or a registered dietitian. These professionals are incredible. They can help you personalize your diet based on your specific health situation, and they can answer questions I might not even think to address. Solution 7. Be patient with yourself. This isn't about perfection, it's about progress. If you've been eating high-sodium foods for years, you won't fix it overnight. But every single day you make a better choice, you're helping your heart. You're protecting your future. My patient Robert, the one I mentioned earlier with the deli meat problem, didn't change everything at once. He started by switching his lunch. That's it, just lunch. The second month, he started making his own salad dressing. The third month, he looked at snack foods. Gradually, he made these changes permanent. And his results? Incredible. His blood pressure is now 128/80. That's almost normal. And he feels better. More energy, better sleep, fewer headaches. That could be you too. I want to tell you something personal. My grandfather had a stroke when he was 74. He was a good man, a hard-working man. He loved his family. But because of high blood pressure, he had a stroke that left him unable to speak clearly. He spent the last 10 years of his life unable to do the things he loved. I became a doctor because of him, because I realized that so much suffering is preventable. Your grandfather, your grandmother, your spouse, your kids, your grandkids, they need you. They need you healthy. They need you present. They need you here. That's not being dramatic. That's being real. Right now, if you're struggling with high blood pressure or if you're worried about it, I want you to know something. You're not alone. And it's not too late. I've seen people in their 70s and 80s turn their health around completely by making these changes. The foods I told you about today, they're not evil. You're not a bad person for eating them. The food industry has spent billions of dollars to make these foods convenient and affordable and tasty. You're not weak for eating them. You're just human. But now you know better, and knowing better means you can do better. Think about what you want your next 5 years to look like, your next 10 years. Do you want to be active? Do you want to travel with your grandchildren? Do you want to feel energetic? Do you want to avoid a heart attack or a stroke? All of that starts with the choices you make today. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. The power is literally in your hands. At the grocery store, in your kitchen, every single time you eat something. So here's what I want you to do, right now, today. First, check your blood pressure if you have a monitor at home. If you don't, get one. They're not expensive, and knowing your baseline is important. If you don't want to buy one, go to a pharmacy. Many pharmacies check blood pressure for free. Second, go to your kitchen. Pick one of those 7 foods we talked about. Just one. The one you eat most often. Replace it with a healthier version. That's it. One change. Third, if you haven't had your blood pressure checked by a doctor recently, make an appointment. This week if you can. Fourth, subscribe to this channel. I'm going to be putting out more videos about heart health, blood pressure, and foods that can help you live longer. You don't have to do this alone. I'm here to help. Here's what's going to happen if you make these changes. In 2 to 4 weeks, you're going to notice something. You're going to feel a little better, maybe more energy, maybe better sleep. Your clothes might fit a little differently. And in a few months, when you check your blood pressure, you're going to see numbers that are better. But more importantly, you're going to know that you're protecting yourself. You're going to know that you're fighting for your own health. And that feeling, that knowledge, that's powerful. Your health is not determined by your past. It's determined by what you do from this moment forward. You've got this. I believe in you, and I'm here to help you every step of the way. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourself. You deserve it.